Gets us to solve simple equations. So these are usually like one or very, very basic two-step equations. So solving an equation, so again, equation, when we look at the first couple letters of the word equation, we almost see equal, okay? So in an equation, there's always going to be an equal sign. So an example of solving an equation is like, what makes this value of x true for x plus 3 equals 12? So what value of x plus an additional 3 will give you 12? Okay, and the solution to this is the only possible value of x that makes the equation true. Okay, I'm not a steps person, but many individuals like steps. So first, no matter what you do, remove the brackets. So distribute, make sure everything is just a simple term. Then collect like terms. So get it as simple as you can, get it as small as you can. And then what you want to do is you want to isolate x by using opposite operations. So move all the x's to one side and then all the normal numbers to the other side. And then we can also check our solution. And we'll go over that. Okay, so solve the following equations. So we have x minus 7 equals 12. So when we talk about opposite operations, this is important. The opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition, of course. The opposite of multiplication is division. And the opposite of division is multiplication. You may even run into the opposite of a square root is a square, okay? And then vice versa, of course. Sorry, they're not equal. Okay, so let's solve the first one. So we need x by itself. So we have x minus 7. Well, what's the opposite of minus 7? Plus 7. So what we do to the right-hand side, we have to do the left-hand side. These cancel, and now we have x equals 12 plus 7, and we get x equals 19. So in other words, 19 minus 7 equals 12. Okay, B, x plus 8 equals 25. So we need the x by itself. The only other thing on this side of the equal sign is this positive 8. So let's do the opposite. Instead of positive, let's do subtract 8 from both sides. What you do to the left-hand side, you do to the right-hand side. Plus 8 minus 8, cancel out. We have x equals 25 minus 8. Okay, and when we subtract those, I get 17. Okay, so x equals 17. In other words, 17 plus 8 equals 25 from the original. Okay. C, we have 4x equals 36. So if we actually look at this, the 4 and the x are multiplied. The opposite of multiplication is division. So let's go 4x, and then let's divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So now we just have like 1x, and 36 divided by 4 is 9. In other words, 4 times 9 equals 36. Okay, this number did not come up, but this number should be x over 3 equals 12. Okay, so x and 3, we need the x by itself. We need to get rid of this divided by 3. So let's multiply both sides by 3. So the 3 over 3 cancel, and we get x equals 36. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit more complicated. We're going to do a couple two-steps, but in 4.2, we're going to do more two-step equations. So first, in 2x minus 3 equals 11. So the 2 and the x are stuck to each other. So let's get rid of the negative 3 first. So let's do positive 3 plus 3 to both sides. And we're left with 2x equals 11 plus 3. Okay, so in other words, we're left with 2x equals 14. Okay, now this equation just looks very similar to C, where the 2 and the x are attached by multiplication. So we want to divide both sides by the 2. So the 2's cancel out. We get x equals 7. Okay. F is another one-step equation. Sorry, F is supposed to be, the divisions did not show up on this. Let's do 4 over 5. X equals 40. Okay, a little bit more complicated. So there are 2 things actually attached to this x. The 4 is multiplied by x, and the 5 is divided by x. Okay, I don't want to deal with fractions. They scare me. So let's get rid of the division first. So right now the 4x is divided by 5. Let's multiply both sides by 5. Okay, so the 5 and the 5 cancel out. Now we have 4x equals, and then what's 40 times 5? I get, yes, 200. Now this is as simple as C, where we see the 4x, they're multiplied, so we do the opposite, we do division. Okay, divide both sides, because what you do the right-hand side, you do the left-hand side. I get x equals 50. So all we had to do in questions E and F are simply collect like terms and then divide or multiply out. Okay, let's do G. So negative 5x, so those are attached to each other. Let's get rid of this plus 11. So subtract 11 on both sides. Those cancel. I get negative 5x equals, what's 4 minus 11? I get negative 7. Now, the negative 5 is attached to the x. Let's divide both sides by negative 5. I get x equals 7 over 5. And as a fraction, just leave it. That's perfectly fine. Okay, next one. The negative 2 is attached to the x, so let's just get rid of this 7 first, the negative 7. So add 7 to both sides. Those cancel out. I get negative 2x equals 13 plus 7, which is 20. Now, negative 2 and x are stuck to each other for multiplication, so we do the opposite. We divide, and I get x equals negative 10. Okay, last one. So this one's a little bit different. We have 5x squared plus 2, then we have 3x squared plus 10. So this is going to be a multi-step. So let's get this positive 2 on the right-hand side. So let's subtract 2 from both sides. Okay, so now we have 5x squared equals 3x squared, and then 10 minus 2 is plus 8. Let's switch the color. Okay, now this x squared, this is a like term with the 5. So let's subtract 3x squared from both sides. Okay, so 5x squared minus 3x squared, I get 2x squared, and those just cancel out. So it's just an 8 on the other side. Now this, again, looks very similar to C. The 2's connected with the x squared, so let's divide the 2 out. Here's the issue, though. We have x squared equals 4. So how do you get rid of this squared? Well, we talked about this up here. We get rid of the squared by actually rooting both sides. So again, what you do to the right-hand side, you do to the left-hand side, root both sides, and I get x equals 2. But the answer actually is plus and minus 2. So there's actually 2 answers to this. Okay, so when you multiply 2 times 2, you get the answer of 4. Therefore, root 4 equals 2. But Here's the second answer. So take a look at this. There's this subtraction here.